use of quantification in HRM is not a new phenomenon. Thus, as early as the beginning of the 20th century, Taylor's work on scientific management was based on measuring work in order to improve its efficiency. In the second half of the 20th century, the growth in company size and the emergence of legal requirements, particularly in France, encouraged companies to use quantitative indicators to manage their human resources. It was during this period, in 1977, that the social report was introduced in France. The idea that figures can and should be used to better understand the social structure of a company and provide a basis for diagnostics is also reflected in the Rowdy Law of 1981, which requires companies to publish an annual quantitative report on the situation of women and men in the company, and later in the Génisson Law of 2001, which requires them to use this comparative situation report as a basis for negotiating a company policy on gender equality in the workplace with social partners. Beyond the context of France, the fundamental idea that figures can be utilized to gain better knowledge and improve decision-making is also found in research on the measurement of human resource management, or HRM, and later in work on the HR scorecard. This work is directly inspired by Kaplan and Norton's 1992 research on the balanced scorecard, which highlights the idea that a company's health is measured not only by financial indicators, but also by social indicators. However, this work remains close to a dashboard approach to using figures in which predefined indicators are produced on a regular basis. The so-called HR analytics approach is somewhat different. It involves conducting statistical studies on specific points that require a more advanced analytical approach, for example, by using multivariate analysis methods. This concept of HR analytics has renewed the literature's interest in quantification within HRM. Thus, in 2017, a systematic review of the literature was conducted by American authors to identify what HR analytics is, how and why it works, what it produces, and what it requires. This literature review allows us to define HR analytics in the following way. This is my own translation. An HR practice made possible by information technologies that uses descriptive, visual, and statistical analyses of data related to HR processes, human capital, organizational performance, and external economic benchmarks to determine business impact and enable data-driven decision-making. Furthermore, this literature review aims to show that adopting an HR analytics approach could potentially improve decision-making in HRM, but that this requires HR practitioners to acquire statistical skills, support from all stakeholders, and the adoption of a high-quality HR information system.